win MEM? And what was it like to see your team kind of rally, especially there in the second half with the full group and Jaren Jackson Jr. back in that starting lineup?
Yeah, great bounce back win by our guys. Obviously addressed a lot of stuff last couple of days this morning about, getting back to our standard, finding consistency. We got a lot more games to figure it out and accomplish that. But tonight was a great, first step after a tough one the other night in Detroit. I thought we had a great defensive edge against a very competitive team in the Raptors. Outside the first quarter, win all three quarters. I thought our defensive activity was phenomenal. Our execution was really good. There obviously those stretches there where we couldn't get a rebound, and we kind of paid the price there. But I thought for the most part, we're really good. Game plan discipline. Mostly our habits are really good. And then offensively, we found a really good groove. Obviously, JJ had a really good start there in that first quarter, had a really good game overall. But I thought the ball move was good. Their whole design is to trap you, frustrate you, speed you up, play zone, funky defenses. And we just found a way to just stay calm and poised and make the simple play, simple pass. Had a lot of great looks that didn't fall, but got enough to fall tonight to get a victory.
Drew Hill.
Yeah, Taylor, just to expand on that, your thoughts on how Jaren looked with the starters, especially next to Jonas.
Yeah, first time we did this season, and I thought the guys really responded well. I talked to them about, they've got to help elevate him, and he's got to help elevate them. Obviously making these changes late in the season, but I thought the guys really responded well. Came out to a really good start. As I mentioned just a moment ago, great defensive activity. I thought, our shifts, getting hands on balls from a combination of guys. Obviously, JJ doing that throughout the game. And then offensively, just guys making a simple play, playing a little bit different roles to start the game. And then we changed up the lineups, throughout the game to get guys more in what they've been playing over the course of the season. So finding that balance, I thought the guys really responded well and started really well, both halves.
Terry Davis.
How you doing, Coach?
Good, Terry. How are you?
Hey, Coach, with only 5 games left, how do you develop that consistency, try to improve your seating in the Western Conference standing?
Yeah, just take this one day at a time. That's been our, philosophy all season long. This time of year challenges you and tests you to really embrace that, not change who you've been all season long. In terms of your standards and your habits, that's what we keep drilling our guys with. So, we'll take a day tomorrow, enjoy our Mother's Day and love on, our wives and our moms and our grandmothers and those closest to us. And then, regroup. We got a, really tough schedule, right? A real dense schedule, 4 and 5 coming up at home. Some really good opponents. So we just got to be ready to keep embracing this challenge one day at a time and just doing it together.
Joe Mullinax.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Obviously, with Jaren's insertion into the starting lineup, rotation changes came from that. John Conchar played a little bit in the first half, not as much in the second. Was that more of a feel for the game kind of process? Were you planning on going to a tighter rotation in the second half? How did that play out as the game went on?
Yeah, the initial plan is to go with a 10-man rotation, and then it became a feel. As the game got a little bit closer there, end of the third, going to the fourth, and so that was just a feel reaction. John played really well against Detroit, gives us a really good boost. So obviously, as we go into the schedule, I'm trying to be very mindful of not trying to overextend our guys with a whole lot of minutes. I know, Job, DB playing a lot of minutes, and just trying to be smart there with a 4 and 5 coming up and 5 and 7, and so that was just kind of the gut feel in the game.
Evan Barnes.
Taylor, 2 things. One, you mentioned how you wanted to see how Jaren was playing before you moved into the starting line. What did you see these last few games that had you confident with the way he's been progressing over this time? And with the back-to-back now coming up, have you decided kind of you're going to stick to that plan of rest one and go for the next?
Yeah, I just think just every game he was getting better. I thought the stretches he was playing in terms of handling the workload was probably the first thing, just making sure we could be mindful of his minutes and what loads he could handle. And as I've said all along, just him continuing to be aggressive, just getting acclimated, back into the flow of the game, flow with his teammates. We threw him out there with a lot of different combinations in his first couple of games, different bigs to play with, different smalls to play with. So just trying to gather that sample size and just gain that confidence, and ultimately, knowing that, this was important to get him back in the starting lineup, the impact he can make for our group, and know that even after how we start, what lineups we can play after that. So definitely an adjustment. I thought everyone embraced it well. It's what they've been doing all season long. We've had a lot of different lineups over the course of the season. And as we get into, the back-to-backs, we're just going to keep talking with medical staff, understanding what's the best course of action for him, and we'll make those decisions kind of one game at a time.
Dick Scanlon.
Yeah, Coach, I'm a little bit out of the loop here. What exactly is it that you did for the first time this season? Start the 2 big guys?
At the start of the season?
You mentioned before, it's the first time we did it this season. You mean
Yeah, I mean,
starting
Jaren,
lineup?
it was the first time we started Jaren with JV. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
I got you. Thank you.
Yep.
Last question, Adam Ty.
Hey, Coach, one last follow-up on Jaren. You closed with DeAnthony Melton in over JJ, who racked up a season high in minutes. Was that sort of a product of any minutes restriction on Jaren, or just a matter of rolling with what worked and not messing with a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a gut feel, third quarter, fourth quarter. There was an opportunity for him to potentially come back. We're still not trying to extend his minutes too far. But obviously Melt got hot right there. I thought that group gave us a good boost, kind of helped build a lead. So sometimes it's, just kind of that gut feel at that time. But really proud of what JJ did tonight and continue to find opportunities for, to him to make impacts over the course of 48 minutes.
Thanks, Coach.
Great. Thanks, everybody.